everyone. In the coming weeks, I'll be focusing on conversations that have a potential to save a love relationship. So if you are like me, who wants to love someone and who also wants to be loved back, so it's important that you know how to sustain or save a relationship, because we all know that relationships go through a dish. So you need to know really what do you do at that point in time. How do you make sure that everything is balanced within your relationship? And one thing that we all know is that relationships fail due to lack of communication. It's either you are holding back on what is in your mind because you don't want to hurt someone. You don't want to be yourself. You are scared. How is he or she going to receive you? You don't know how is he or she going to react or respond to whatever you are saying. And it's especially because we come into relationships with a lot of baggages. You've been told you are this, or you know your past relationships failed because of this, and you tried to work on that, but now here you are in a relationship. You want to raise something, you want to save the relationship, but you don't know really how to approach it. So it's not that easy. Another thing that normally happens due to lack of communication is that you end every night with a crazy fight, because you never really focused on agreeing or talking about how you fight, because fight is imminent. We will still fight. In every relationship there will be fights. You will disagree, you will get angry, you get hurt, which means then you need to regroup and discuss, well, how do we move forward, so there's this thing at home, or when our parents will tell us, ungalali niqabele. I mean, is it practical? Because if you love someone, you easily hurt at times, depending what is your disposition at the point in time. Whereas I normally say, it's so funny that if someone, say, insults you on the road, a stranger insults you, you don't care. You just ignore. But if the same thing can be said by your friend, your lover, your partner, your husband, your wife, you become sensitive. Do you get what I mean? Unless obviously you've already worked on yourself, on managing your emotions and all that. And I think the most important thing that we always miss is that always remember, whenever you are hurt, it was not intentional. I want to believe someone that you love or you are in love with won't hurt you intentionally, unless there's something wrong, obviously. Because once we start wanting to hurt each other intentionally, then we are no longer lovers. We really have to go and review and discuss that. Are we still attracted to each other? Are we still pursuing this love thing together? Or are we still do we still remember our vows that we'll be together till death do us apart, for those that are married, or we want to do this for a long time and all that. So, those are the challenges that you find in a relationship. The main thing really, what I'm saying, is that you need to sit down and have a proper talk, but that is not easy. It can be very uncomfortable just to start, just to propose, just to agree. You find some of us that you'll agree that you want to talk, or you don't understand, why should I agree and all that. But you need to respect the other partner might not be ready, not because he or she doesn't think the relationship is important. We've got many things. We are working, we're running businesses, we've got children and everything. So the worst thing you want to do is to get into a discussion, especially a sensitive discussion, when you are not ready, because you may snap, you may overreact and everything. So we need to wait. There's no rush, because at this point in time we should be there and there and there, because these things are different at the end of the day. So, and another two things that I normally think make it more difficult is that sometimes that the discussion can make or break the relationship. And sometimes that this one will break the relationship, because Ulindelwa has got these beliefs, and I normally observe her or hear when she expresses certain points or certain facts about this particular thing. So this, for sure, I'm coming in knowing that it's not going to be an easy discussion. And on the other hand, the partner might say, I want to discuss this because I want this relationship to be smooth, at least, or I want us to reach an understanding. So that on its own make it so uncomfortable. You start feeling like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? What must I do? Must I take him or her out to a restaurant? Must I give a glass of wine so that we are calm? You know, you don't find peace or comfort that, well, this will be the right time. Especially if you are new, you don't know each other. So another thing is that you, as I said, we've got a lot of past experiences or baggage that we bring in. It also prevents you. You start using the baggage, preempting the outcome of this discussion. So already you are not open when you're coming into a discussion and all that. And you know, hence I normally say, at whatever stage in our life, personal development is very important. You know, understanding who you are, your values, what drives you is very important. How you want to engage other people or how you want to present yourself in a relationship, it has to be intentional. That's what life has taught me, that you have to really have a plan, you know, and understand what is important to you. Because if you don't know that, you'll fight or be hurt by anything that is thrown at you. And really, 80 or 90% of the time, if you are both normal individuals who are not toxic, the intention to hurt is not there. It's just that we do make mistakes. We are human beings who are combinations of strength and weaknesses. So that is why sometimes weakness creeps in or you overlook things. You know, I sometimes look at myself talking to a person I love that, hey, you know, when he cautions me on a certain thing, I'm like, I know this, but I think in one or two relationships in the past, I did try it. It was never reciprocated. As a result, I put it aside, you know, because I want to adjust and embrace whatever is there and important for the relationship. Now I'm coming here, I look like a little child who doesn't know what he's doing or what he wants. You are being told about a small thing that when I come back from work, please, just give me an impression that you've been waiting for me, you've been missing me, or I must feel that I left you in the morning, we're meeting now in the afternoon, so there should be a difference in that. So really, having said that, every relationship is different. Issues are also different because we are from different backgrounds, from different cultures, different nationalities. Now we've got modern relationships where we've been divorced, we're coming with children, and in the children there are pairs of children that belongs to that partner and that partner. So there's quite a lot of dynamics, and yet we still deserve to be loved, and we still want to love people. So those things really bring more complexities to this equation. So as life changes, as you grow and reach certain milestones or acquire another gift in terms of children or responsibilities, things do change. The game changes every time, and yet you still need to be at the top of the game. So, but then, again, you still need to talk, because otherwise if you don't talk or you don't have an agreement of some sort, you'll be distant from your partner. So these topics or whatever is a challenge will help to bridge the gap or save the relationship. But again, I still want to say something that I struggled with for a lot of time. My mother used to say, you can't discuss everything, Linda. You can't always have a meeting with your partner. There are some things that you need to just overlook. Yes, it did hurt you. Take a deep breath and overlook it. It will sort it out on its own. How do you really identify that, well, now this one will sort itself out and all that. I struggled with that, but certainly with time I've learned that not every misunderstanding, every hurt needs to be addressed. And again, what helped me personally is to really understand that I'm dealing with my lover. I love this person. I've committed to this person. He loves me too. So how I approach this is that he is a combination of strengths and weaknesses. He might have been stressed, or really, why would he say this? I think he said this because I approached him at the wrong time, or he didn't hear what I was saying. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes just eliminate, and focus on love. But yes, there are those that you feel, this one I don't understand, it's hurting me, so I think we need to sit and decide. Can you help me see that and understand that what did you mean when you said this? Because I didn't take it nice. This is how I felt and everything. And, it becomes a simple discussion. Sometimes it's a debate because the person wants to understand. But I always say all those discussions must be from a context of love. Once you start talking like uthetha nosisi osestrateni umbone sengene endlini yakho, you don't know what she wants, then there's a problem. Because we do those things sometimes. You want to exercise your power, your confidence. And it's so funny, you will never talk to your friends like that. You will reverse or reserve certain things, rather go and think and everything. But we tend to sometimes undermine our partners or look like we're undermining our partners, because I don't think we undermine per se. So really sometimes we need to think before we say something. We need to watch our actions. We need to be receptive, and we need to be vulnerable so that people do understand what triggers certain emotions to you, or how should you be approached when there's a fight, or you have sort of said something that is hurtful to someone. Those discussions are important. And you also don't want a partner who's going to say, hey, don't tell me how to do things. You think you know too much. Like especially us who are coaches and everything, you find yourself now uyitishala emntwini, and umuntu doesn't like that. But somehow it is part of you. You will guide certain discussions because it's easier for you to approach certain discussions. So really that reciprocation is quite important. So in the coming weeks, I'll be talking about sharing my thoughts actually on conversations that I think have a potential to save a love relationship. So please do subscribe, do look out for my videos, and really share this with your friends and families, because I think it is quite important. This is not necessarily about the love relationship. Yes, the focus now will be on the love relationship, but I think we really need to cultivate a culture of respecting relationships. You must respect someone not because you want something. Be intentional on relationships with your siblings, relationships with your children, relationships with your family, relationships at work, of which I think at work we are intentional because there's a pay that comes with that, or tangible pay that comes with that. But family is also important, because if you are to be well-grounded, you need people next to you. You might not need a group like me. I don't need a group, but it's important. You need to relate to people. And then there are things that we need to teach each other because we think the relationship is important. So see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this intro. Love you all. Remember, love is our courage.